Hello Greenhouse, this is Mrs. Kelsey from People Place. This is a very important time of year. It's course selection time. That's the time during the school year when we do our course planning for next year. And the choices that you and your fellow Hawks will make over the next several weeks will determine not just what your year looks like next year, but what NDSS will look like as a whole next year. So it's really important that we get it right. So let's jump in. Before we dive into how to get ready and eventually submit your course selections for next year, we want you to put this date in your calendar. Junior course selections are due no later than Wednesday, March the 1st. This means you've made your decisions, you've talked about them with people at home, and you've entered them into my blueprint by this date. More on that later. Inputting classes is actually the really easy part of course selection. The hard work comes in the planning and preparation for doing so. So let's start there. We'll start by taking stock of where you're at in order to set the course for where you're going. And we'll do this by looking at the requirements for high school graduation in Ontario and how to use your personal graduation summary and your future goals to help you plan. Your graduation summary, a sample of which is seen here, is a very important document to understand. This is where we track all of your progress towards graduation. So it's important that you look it over carefully anytime you're given a copy, just to make sure there are no surprises. If you have a look at the top section of your page, you'll see all of the big graduation requirements. And remember, when we talk about graduation in its simplest form, we talk about the three big things: 30 credits, 40 hours, and the literacy requirement. The rest of your grad summary is devoted to tracking those 30 credits, including the 18 compulsory courses and the 12 optional ones. You'll see the note on this slide that the 30 credits now also includes 2 mandatory online learning courses. We'll circle back to that in a minute. Have a look at your course summary. The left-hand side is where all compulsory credits are recorded. And remember, we always try to count a course as compulsory first. You should be able to find all of the credits that you've earned so far this year in grade 9 located here. You'll see the course code, the date that you earned the credit, the mark that you earned, and the credit value, which is almost always 1. This part of the grad summary gives you a quick snapshot of the required credits you still need to earn to graduate, which makes it super helpful when you're planning your courses for next year. On the right-hand side, you probably don't see anything yet, which is perfectly normal for a student in your shoes. Students don't usually start accumulating optional credits until the second half of grade 10 at the earliest. When you look at the courses you've already finished and add them up to the courses you have left on your timetable for this year, which are located just below the required courses, the total number we hope you get is 8. If your number happens to be lower than 8, you may have a grade 9 credit to make up for, and that would need to be taken into consideration when you're planning your classes for next year, if you don't already have a plan with a guidance counselor or student success. That plan might look like taking a course this semester or perhaps completing a credit at summer school. Let's address some of the common questions about the online learning requirement. Students who started high school in 2020 or later must successfully complete the equivalent of at least 2 full online credits in order to graduate. Eligible credits must be delivered in a fully online format where students do not gather with a teacher in person. This means an in-person class where an online platform is used does not meet the eligibility requirements. With the support of parents or guardians, students may formally opt out of the online learning graduation requirement. The opt-out form is available on the LDSB website and must be printed and signed by a guardian and submitted to People Place. For a variety of reasons, we encourage students to wait until their grade 12 year to opt out. Any courses of any grade level taken remotely during summer school can count towards your online learning graduation requirement. More commonly, though, students may opt to take an online course as part of their regular school timetable during their grade 11 and/or 12 year. Information about these courses and how to register for them can be found in the last page of our course list package or by speaking with a guidance counselor. There are 5 required courses that students in grade 10 must take. You'll continue on with your English, math, and science. You'll add a Canadian history, as well as a half credit each in civics and career studies. Just like in grade 9, all grade 10 students must have a full timetable of 8 classes over the course of the school year. Grade 10 students in our French immersion program will also take English, math, and science, as well as 4 additional required courses that are taught in French: Immersion French, Canadian Geography, Tech Design, and Phys Ed. When making these selections, be sure to choose the courses that say French Immersion in the titles. All of these course codes should end in the number 3. When you are choosing your required courses for next year, it's really important to carefully consider the level of study you pick. Think about how you learn best, as well as your plans for the future. Do you thrive in hands-on learning situations? Can you manage or even excel at critical and creative thinking tasks? Are you interested in a pathway that might involve 4 or maybe more years of university study? Or is it a 2 or 3 year college program that gets you excited? Maybe you're interested in one of the in-demand areas of the skilled trades and you'd like to explore an apprenticeship after high school. Or maybe you can't wait to just get to work. There are so many doors that open once you have a high school diploma in hand, and getting you on the right pathway nice and early in your high school career is the best way to make sure you reach that milestone. So when you're looking at your courses for next year, ask yourself, what courses are going to put me on the right pathway for the opportunities I'm interested in pursuing next year and after high school? We know that's a big ask at this point in grade 9, but all we can ask is that you're honest and thoughtful and that you ask for help if you need it. You make the best choice possible given what you know now. If you're feeling really unsure, there are resources and people here to help. Check out the surveys in my blueprint, talk to your family and friends, chat with your teachers, especially about courses in their subject area, and think about what might be a good fit for you. And remember, you can always book an appointment with a guidance counselor. Next year, if all has gone well, you will have an additional optional course on your timetable. This year you only had 2, but next year you'll have 3. But the biggest news is the number of choices you have to pick from. This year you had 6 very general optional classes to choose from. Next year there are over 20, and in grades 11 and 12 even more. That's because the closer you get to graduation, the more we tailor your education to your needs and interests. As you can see from this grade 10 course list, there are lots of exciting choices available. Please note though that these are just that, choices. Courses will only run next year if enough people choose them now, so please make your selections with purpose. Remember to keep courses required for graduation in mind and to explore your interests. Also remember that there are no prerequisites for grade 10 classes, so if you didn't take grade 9 tech but you'd like to try a grade 10 auto mechanics class, for example, that's no problem. You can find out more details about each course by consulting our full course calendar. We have copies for lending in PeoplePlace, but you can also find it on the NDSS website. Just like last year, you will be asked to include 2 alternate choices when you enter your selections into my blueprint. To enter your courses, you will use my blueprint. Course selection will be open Friday, February 17th. My blueprint is a tool that all Limestone students have access to, and not only is it how we choose our classes, but it also has lots of other great features that help you plan and prepare for your future. To get to my blueprint, it's very important that you access it through your Limestone Minds Online page. That's how it talks to me. You probably know how to do this already, but if you need a reminder, I suggest getting there by simply Googling Limestone District School Board and using the Minds Online button located right on their homepage. You'll be asked to enter your login credentials, which is just your full Limestone email address and the password you would use to log into a school device. This will bring you to your landing page, and your My Blueprint widget will be listed across the top along with all of your other apps. We enter courses into my blueprint using the High School Planner. If this isn't already on your page when you open the app, you can get to it by selecting High School from the menu on the left. You will be working under the bright blue heading of Next Year. If my blueprint is feeling cooperative, when you click on a course heading, it will take you to the appropriate options for that class. So, for example, when you click on English, it should take you to a list of available English courses for your grade. Please note though that sometimes this technology doesn't work. If that's the case when you try, don't panic. Just use the filters to select the subject area you are looking for, such as English, math, business, technology, and then look for the appropriate course code. Be sure to match that code up exactly as it appears on the course list page, and carefully read the full title to make sure that it is in fact the grade, the course, and the level you are looking for. As an aside, my blueprint almost never remembers where to find civics and careers. So civics can be found under Canadian and World Studies, and careers can be found under the heading Guidance and Career Education. If you make a mistake or change your mind while you're making your selections, you can use the 3 dots within the course box to delete your selection and start filling that space again. Once you have entered your specific selections for next year, plus your 2 alternate choices, you'll be prompted to review all of those choices. On the review screen, we're looking for green check marks. These indicate that all of your choices are courses that you're eligible to take. If you see any red X's, be sure to check the error and fix it if you can. If you have an error regarding an incomplete prerequisite, maybe it's something that you're recovering but aren't quite finished yet, or something that you're planning to complete at summer school, please just leave us a comment with your plan. Otherwise, we'll have to track you down later. You won't be able to submit course requests that have an error without leaving a comment to explain. After careful review, sharing your planner with someone at home, and leaving any necessary comments, you will be ready to submit. Use the big blue button to submit, but only when you're 100% ready. Once you have submitted, changes can't be made without seeing a counselor. And remember, classes run or don't run based on the choices you make now, so please make them carefully. Once you have successfully submitted your classes, you will see the date and time of your submission near the top of your planner page. This means that your course selections are locked in. You can print off a copy of your choices for your records if you like. Remember, you won't be able to input your choices until this Friday, February 17th. And just a final reminder that your courses should be submitted no later than Wednesday, March the 1st. And that's it, Hawks. Use the tools we've chatted about, your personal grad summary, the course list package, the full course calendar available online, the resources in my blueprint, and if you need to chat with a counselor, feel free to book an appointment. You can use the link on this screen. Happy planning!